Welcome to this working out episode of Talking Lamar. Today, I'm talking about group exercise and my problem with it. Let's get to it.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I forgot what I was talking about.
What are you talking about?
I am talking to you.
That's just what I was talking about.
It's Talking Lamar.
You know, in the realm of working out stuff, I come and go, and I always need a workout partner because I got to have somebody that I'm responsible to show up. If you just leave it up to me, I will talk myself. I have many times, back when I lived in my duplex, I wasn't too far from the Y. I'd get off of work and I'd go straight to the Y and I'd pull up, and it would be sort of a nice day, and I'm sitting there in the car and I'm starting to get out, and I go, you know what? I'm not that far from the house. Maybe what I should do is go down there and take a nap, take a 20-minute nap. And then, you know what I'm saying?
So relatable.
And I mean, yeah, and the next thing I know, I'm stretched out there. And so I got to have somebody. So if somebody says, all right, we're going to meet at such and such a time, by gosh, I'm there because I don't want to let somebody down. I want to be there. So that works out. So a good friend of mine, Pat, we've worked out together over the years, tons. And so we tried to go to some of the classes. Well, the first thing we decided to do was the spinning class, where you get on that bike that you pedal and it don't go anywhere.
I hate that. I hate spinning classes with.
Oh my God!
If there is a hell, there's a spinning class in hell.
I mean, it's. The idea of it's really cool. You get in there and you got this cool bike and you jump on it and they say go and the music is blaring. There's somebody up front saying, oh, pedal, do this. And then all of a sudden, we're supposed to jump off the bike and get in the floor and we do push-ups, and then we jump back on the bike and we ride some more. Then we jump off the bike and we do setups, and then we get back on the bike. And I don't know, there's just something about riding a bike and it's going nowhere. And I know it's great for you. I know all of that, but it's just relentless. And so now there's people all around you, so you can't really be a slack ass because then it's embarrassing. So you got to stay with it. And so I'm trying my best. I'm going. So the whole time I'm doing this, I'm thinking, oh man. And Pat, my buddy Pat, over the years, I mean, he's done some stuff. He's done some triathlons, and he's pretty, he's had a lot. He was in the armed forces and whatever. So he's been in shape most of his life, and he's done all this stuff. And I'm thinking, God, I hope he doesn't like this. This is going to be terrible. Because if he likes it, then I got to keep doing it. Because I'm not a, you know what I say? I'm not a quitter, man. I am not a quitter. I may hate it,
Lamar,
but I'm
if
not
I
a
had
quitter.
$1 for every time I was with my man and thought, oh God, if he likes this, I'm going to have to keep doing it. Well, you'd be talking to yourself right now, my friend, because I wouldn't be here.
So that
I know
class,
exactly what you mean, though. They're the worst.
It lasted about 45 minutes. And when they called off, I crawled my ass off that bike. And so we go outside and get a drink of water. And I got the towel and I'm wiping the sweat off my face and whatever. And I look at Pat and I said, what do you think? And he goes, I don't think that's really for me. I said, by God, that's why you my friend. Yes, that's exactly right. It's not for us, So we went back and we had worked out sort of a routine where we would go in and we would go every day. I mean, we would go Monday through Saturday. We would go to the gym and we would go and we had a certain amount of exercises that we did. And we lifted weights. We did a lot of different stuff. And, but you'd read an article or you'd be talking to somebody. Well, you got to change it up. You got to do this and you got to do that. And so we sat down and had a conversation about that. And I found out that we truly were in agreement. We talked about the fact of changing it up or doing this or doing that. And we decided, both of us had the same opinion. Okay, we're coming consistently. We're coming every day after work. We're coming on Saturday morning. We're doing this. and we do this, probably doing 8 or 9 different exercises. We're doing free weights, we're doing this, we're doing that. We've got into this deal that we like, and we're doing it. Now, if you start switching it up, which means you got to do something different, and some of the stuff you're not going to like, so and we decided if you're consistently doing something, that is so much better than doing nothing. And if you make this where you're not liking it, you're more apt not to do it. So we pretty much, we stayed with that. And we did that. And then something would happen and his work schedule would change or mine would change, or maybe somebody would pull a muscle or something and we'd have to take some time off. And then, next thing you know, it's been a month and that would drag out and it'd take us another month or so to get back into it. But we kept trying to do the group classes because it seems like such a good idea and everybody's in there doing it. So one day he says, hey, there's a power yoga class on Saturday morning. Do you want to try power yoga? And I said, I'm not a yoga person. I've never done it, but power yoga, that sounds real manly. I mean, that sounds like yoga. So we go into the class and we do all the stretches and the music's playing. And I'm thinking, okay, we're pretty good. And all of a sudden the music kicks up. And now it's got this drum beat. Boom, 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 boom. And this woman has us starting to do all these push-ups and jump ups and just squat thrust. I mean, we're doing all of this stuff and it's like, go, 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 go. Then you got a 30-second break. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then it would go again. And I'm watching that clock. And this is a 40-minute class. And the clock, it just won't move. It just won't move. That hand is just not getting there. So finally we get through and I'm laying there and I can't even hardly talk. I am just worn out. And again, in my head, I'm going, oh my God, please, Pat, do not like this. Do not like this. And we get up and I look at him and he looks at me and he goes, let's don't do this again. I said, once again, my friend, you are my workout partner. So we gave that up. And then we did find something that we did like. There was a lady that had yoga, and they didn't call it yoga for old people, but that's what it was. It was yoga for old people. And so we went to the yoga class, and now we did that consistently for probably 2 years because it was like real yoga, but it wasn't killing you. It was, the stretches were good. Sheri, have you ever done the yoga thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I liked it.
It is awesome. Now, I got to tell you, it really, there is something to that stretching out like that. Now, first week or so, it's, ooh, what? But once you get used to that, it really is good. That's of all the things. And I've tried, we did a, I can't think of the guy's name, but he came up with this class and he's the guy that is all over the country and whatever.
Bikram?
And it has
like
this was like a weightlifting. This is like a weightlifting thing.
This is a different one. Okay.
To music or whatever. And that's not what you want. I mean, no, that was no good because you're jumping around with barbells and all this kind of stuff. And I don't know, the whole class thing, because here's one of the things that I enjoy about working out with a workout partner that's a friend of yours. You're working out, but you're still sort of talking. You're talking about stuff. While one of you is grunting and lifting up, the other person is talking about something. And then when you quit grunting and he starts grunting, then you start talking about, but it makes the time go by. You can't get that in a class. I don't know. It's just too much. It's too much. I just don't understand it. But it seems to be a big deal. Now, you say you've done like Zumba and stuff like that?
Cardio funk, jazzercise, aerobics, step aerobics, which, was great fun. Here's the thing. I have fun while I'm doing it, but I don't like any of it. And I don't like it for the simple reason that it's indoors and it's on somebody else's schedule. It's really hard. Like my entire adult life has not been built for, it's 2:00, time for cardio funk. Like you see how we work. It just doesn't suit me. I like to do my own thing.
let me go ahead and say, cardio funk is not what the fat white guy needs to be doing. Fat white guys, we got no funk. We got no funk. Barely got cardio. We don't have cardio funk. So that's just not working. And I'm sure the yoga is the same way, but I think we've talked about this a few years ago when I was actually doing the yoga class. I don't want to be in the front or to the side where the mirrors are, because in my mind, when I'm standing on one foot and the other leg's out to the side and I got my arms all out and I'm doing the swan or whatever it is I'm doing, I got my eyes closed and I'm picturing me looking like a ballet dancer or something, that my form is flawless and it's unbelievable. I was doing this one day and the person in front of me moved to the left too much and I could see the mirror and I could see me. No. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. You got to, I got to be in my own head and I got to visualize what I think it is. Cause no. Cause I'm not graceful, not in the least, but I really did enjoy that. And the good part about it was, I don't know if the yoga class you've ever done was at the very end, after you've really stretched out and everything's all whatever. And then she says, okay, now close your eyes. We're on the lake. Because she would do this whole thing about being on the lake and the water was lapping against the edge of the thing there and the sun was shining on your face. Oh man, I'm telling you, if after that was over with, if everybody would just been real quiet, I could have slept and took a nap. I mean, that was the whole deal, was getting to that lake. I mean, I do like the yoga stuff. I really do. I need to get back to that. That's the only class thing I think I've ever enjoyed of all the other ones. And I tried a couple of those jumping around like you're dancing. No. Again, fat white guys.
Cardio funk is really fun if you can do it. I struggled with it. Like I just couldn't. It goes by fast, and you have to be able to learn. You have to be able to pick up the moves really quickly. And I just couldn't. But there were some people in that cardio funk class, men and women, that were tearing up the floor, and it looked like a blast. And I have friends who have regular sorts of jobs, and they work out before they go into the office or whatever, or they work out during lunch or maybe on their way home. I have days that start, before the sun is up and go until 7 or 8 at night. So there's not really time for that. And I like to go outside, like the spin class, Lamar, the bicycle ride to nowhere in the dark with raging thumping music and a really insanely fit piece of human beef jerky yelling at me.
Yeah. No.
Max, you've never done a spin class, right?
No, never done that. This is why I like hiking, because
Yes.
Go ahead, Sheri.
Spin bikes are not like regular bikes. And the spin bike seat and handlebars, it's not like anything else. The pedals, the gears, nothing. It's not like a regular bike. It's its own thing. And you climb on top of it and you never stop pedaling. And the room, I've never been in a spin class that wasn't in a dark room. It's like you're riding a bike to nowhere in a Hollister store at the mall. The music is super loud. The room is dark. Everybody's just pounding away on these wretched spin bikes. And the instructor, who never is out of breath and does 5 spin classes a day, by the way, and looks like they've been chiseled out of Slim Jims. The instructor's like, all right, we're going to take the intensity up a bit. Wait, this wasn't peak intensity? My heart is on the floor next to this bike. Like I can't even breathe. All right. Okay. Now we're going to bring it down. Bring it down. Max, I want you to imagine setting your own ass on fire and then running faster than you ever have. That's what bringing it down in spin classes. Lamar, where's the lie?
Yeah.
Where is the lie?
No. It's not. I'm gonna tell you, the people that can do that and love it, or they say they love it. I don't know how they can, but I have to admire that. I have to admire that. I mean, see, I'm like the Max. This whole hiking thing, I wish I did that more, because here's the deal about hiking. I think it's very good for you. And you don't really know that it's good for you. You're sort of enjoying what you're doing. You're looking at nice things. I do like that. I do like it. That was one of the things that I was going to do when I retired from Budweiser and I came here. I was going to take the free time that I had and just do many, many things. I was going to be able to go to
This show has screwed that up for you, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, look at how good your life could have been. But then Sheri said, "Come here," and you said, "Yes, that's what I want to do." And now you're thinking,
I wish I could have blamed her. I wish I could blame her and say, "You tricked me," but she didn't trick me.
Just didn't believe me.
Because Sheri said,
"Oh, Lamar, you know that saying? She who laughs last laughs best."
Yeah. It's like, you know how they write that thing on the pack of those cigarettes and it says, "This product will kill you." And some people still buy them and still smoke them. Sheriff gave me that warning on the side of the package, and I said, "Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play." But, oh my gosh. But yeah.
I will say that when I go and hike and I'm going up the mountain, I'm coming down, and sometimes they bring exercise classes to the mountain. And I see all these 20-somethings dying to try to get to the top. And I think to myself, I got up here.
Yeah.
How hard can it be? Yeah.
How hard can it be? And then I feel kind of secretly superior because at least I have hiking boots and a hiking stick. They're all there in their Skechers with hangovers from drinking too much White Claw,
It's so true. I do enjoy. That's what I like about going when we camp. If we go to a state park, because 99% of state parks that I've ever been to, they have some great trails, and it'll be a few miles, through the woods, and it's ups and downs and, all kinds of stuff. And me and Darby will go do that. And she loves to do it. And I like to do it. And I feel like, she's getting exercise and I'm getting some exercise and we're having some fun. And I like hiking. I really do. And you've been doing this for years.
I have.
Have you not?
Yeah. And Mojo will go with us. And Mojo, he always liked to hike, but now he's an older gentleman. So Mojo likes to be carried. And I try to tell myself, well, Mojo's being carried, but just think how much better this is for you that you're having the additional weight to carry Mojo to be able to, exercise out here. But there's almost a spiritual component to it where you're slowing life down, and not only you're out moving around, but you're noticing stuff. And there's little flowers that are close to the ground that you might not have ever seen, or little creatures that are rustling around. And you go, "Oh, look at this," or "Oh, look at that." And so there's a certain wonderment about it as well. So it's exercise, but there is that other component to it that makes it so much more interesting.
And there's a Zen thing to it.
There is. There's no question. It's like an unstructured meditation in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I do like that. Now, if I can get Carla to go with me, because she's not really big into it, but I have to walk in front so that no spider web can touch her. I have to eat all the spider webs. If there's any, I have to be in front.
There's this neurologist that I follow on Threads. I can't remember the name of the account right at this moment, but he posted 5 things that you should be doing for your health right now, and not one of them involved paying for a gym membership. The one that really jumped out at me was go outside and walk. You can call it a hike, you can call it a stroll, you can call it a perambulation, but go outdoors in the outside where the wind and the sun and everything is, and walk.
My parents never went to a gym at all. And both of them lived to be over 100. And I think, and the thing about it is they very consistently went out and walked. And it was something they did together.
I can remember that about them having conversations, because they played golf.
They did. For a good while.
Yeah,
until my mother, just couldn't physically with her shoulder anymore do it.
Yeah.
And
then, they were See, once again, they were the most moderation people I've ever personally known. They ate in moderation. They would have a glass of wine in moderation. They would walk in moderation. Just
See, I've tried to
they
do
were they,
everything in excess in moderation, but that hasn't really worked out.
So I don't know. I do think that going outside and walking, that's if you don't do anything else, and it's not hard to do, and it's pretty
it's
pleasant.
good. And this neurologist said that that it's not just about physical exercise, but human beings, like we forget sometimes that we are mammals and animals, and we are of this planet and its ecosystem, and that
Yeah.
we were built to be out there, not in here.
Mm.
Yeah.
So when we live our whole lives in these climate controlled fluorescent lit environments, that you wouldn't do that to another animal. You wouldn't do that to a dog or a chimpanzee, right? But we do it to ourselves, where we're sedentary all day in front of screens in these climate controlled spaces. So this neurologist is like, this is not the way. If the only thing you can do is walk around outside, you're already doing so much for your mental and physical and spiritual and emotional health. And it's a pleasure, isn't it, Max?
It is.
Like,
it
it's
is
not a
pleasurable
punishment
thing to do. No. And there's a like a little afterglow afterwards. I mean, if you've taken a long hike, you're going to be sore. I'm going to be sore. I can't speak for everyone, but I know I'm going to be sore. But at the same time, there's a little afterglow
sore.
afterwards. And I think part of it is a sense of accomplishment. But I think more than that, I think, as you were saying, there is the Zen, unstructured meditation experience of just being out there and slowing life down. As you said, Sheri, I don't think we were meant to have all this stuff, this information and stuff from the screens and everything else coming at us at the speed which it does. And when you do it, it does. I think your mind gets happier. I think emotionally you get happier, and certainly your spirit gets happier when you slow all that stuff down. You're out. You get a little sunshine. You slow down, and you have the exercise.
See, this would be a lot better conversation if I wasn't sitting in this room surrounded by screens.
Lamar, you are preaching to the choir on this one, because there's a little voice in my head that says, you should go out there and you should hike this weekend. You should do everything. No, you've got to do this and you've got to do this and this and this and this. Sit in the dark room. Work.
Yeah, find something to talk about.
Well, and if you think too about, and I know I've been talking about this a lot lately on the show and in my sleep and everywhere else, about, the algorithms online and on social media. We are not designed for the fire hose of information and news, and so much of it is heavily manipulated, and a lot of it's bots. We are being programmed and shaped and pushed and driven in all of these ways that we're not meant for. Like, it's so unhealthy. Our bodies are flooded with cortisol. We live in a perpetual state of fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Like, it's nuts. And the answer is not more of that. The answer is go outside. And Lamar, if they did a cardio funk or a Tai Chi class outside, I might sign up for it. Have you ever done a Tai Chi class? You might like that.
No, I have not. I've seen from a distance people doing it, and they say that it is really good.
I've done it one time. There isn't anyone like it near where I live. I was visiting a friend, and she was like, "You want to do Tai Chi?" And we were half joking, and everybody was all these like senior citizens in the park. And when you look at it, you go, well, that's not hard. It turns out it's really hard, and it takes like concentration, but you're outside in the breeze, and there are squirrels. It's nice.
Yeah, there is something. I was talking to somebody, a friend of mine, about what we do. Finding information, content stuff to talk about, and he said, "Couldn't you hire somebody to get on the internet and search that stuff down?"
No.
And I said, well, I could, but here's the problem. What they would see might not be something that I would want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody can pick this out for you. You have to pick it out for yourself, because you have to see something that it interests you, or you can turn it to a certain way. I mean, it's, Sheri couldn't pick out stuff for me. I couldn't pick out stuff for Sheri. You agree to that, Sheri?
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Max is like, he's the king of finding something and sharing it. So Max will send me 5 things, and all 5 of those are good things, but maybe there's only 2 of them that I can do something with. I mean, that I know it doesn't make any sense to somebody unless you're actually doing this, but it is the truth. I mean, it's just very, very hard.
And we made life harder for ourselves, and 0 regrets. We've set up certain boundaries that we don't cross on the show. And it turns out a lot of stuff that you wouldn't think is problematic and we stay away from that. And, a lot of, like, on the radio side of our life, a lot of radio shows are 2 hours long, and their longest content break is 2 minutes. And that ain't us. So I think if you told me, Sheri, we're going to cut the show in half and you're not allowed to talk for longer than 2 minutes, this would become a very easy job. But that isn't what we did. That isn't what we created. And like I said, no regrets. If we tried to do that, it wouldn't be the show anymore. It would be something, but it wouldn't be the show that we've made.
We've set a standard for the product we're trying to
create.
And that's what we do. I mean, I agree.
And as I've often said, for better or worse, because had we maybe cut the show in half and cut the content breaks down to 2 minutes or less, the industry probably would have loved us, as opposed to looking at us like, why are these talking sheep in the room? Like, what is this? So, I mean, to be fair, we are the architects of our own everything. But, we built it that way, and we're committed to keeping it that way. And that's why we don't have time for cardio funk as much as we might like to do it.
Yeah, this is true. So thankfully, I'm getting ready to wrap this up, and I'm not going to wrap it up so that I can go to a spin class. I'm not. I might take a nap.
I can go to a nap class. That's what I was say.
I'm going to go to the lake and let the sun get in my face as I lay across there.
There you go.
That's what I'm going to do. Well, listen, that's going to be it for this episode. We really did have a good time, and appreciate y'all listening to us. Thank you so much. If you think about it, tell somebody about the Talking Lamar podcast. I sure would appreciate it. And don't forget that multiple award-winning and Webby-nominated True Weird Stuff podcast, the thing nightmares and education is made of. I promise you're going to like it. Now, coming on Talking Lamar down the road, will be some more stuff. I don't want you to give up on it because, like I said earlier, I am not a quitter, and you shouldn't be either. If you want to call 844-52-SHERI and leave a message, or you can go straight to our app, go to the bottom where the microphone is, click on it, and start talking. Max listens to everyone, and then he tells us all about it. Until then,